Hello and welcome to my channel. Vice Rhino here. So today, well, actually Saturday, my copyright strike expired. A lot of you don't seem to even be aware that I had a copyright strike. I did. It was it was that movie Assassins 33 AD. And it so we reviewed the thing on a drunken movie night. And in a drunken stupor, we made the bad decision of making the whole thing full screen and doing the whole movie. So it got taken down, and I got a copyright strike. So I haven't been able to stream for 3 months. That expired on Saturday, so I decided to what's it called? Celebrate. That's the one. So I'm doing an AMA tonight, which is an Ask Me Anything, and so I will be taking questions. I will ask me anything. I'll answer anything. I can't guarantee you'll like my answers, but I will give answers. And if questions are slow, I have an article from AIG up that I can read through and kind of make fun of a little bit. So, starting things off, we got Chaos Shepperson. Sent a super chat in, says, I probably won't be here for the video, but take my money because you make me happy. Well, thank you. I like that I make people happy. So for questions, super chats will take priority, but I will take other questions from the chat as well. I know I saw, where are you? Random Evo Times is in the chat. That's a YouTube channel. You guys should go check out that YouTube channel because that is a I don't know how old you are, but it's a kid, and it's a really smart kid who makes some taxonomy videos, and they're pretty in-depth stuff. So yeah, so we got another $2 from Nodge Eod Doe John. John Doe. There we go. John Doe backwards. Oh yeah, Mrs. Rhino's here too. You just heard her laugh. Guess who's back again? Rhino's back. God is dead. Yeah, God is dead. No, God is not dead, because in order for God to be dead, he would have to first be alive. How are you? I'm fine. I'm a little tired. I actually had to. I'm reading the kids The Never-Ending Story for their bedtime book, and I had to stop in the middle of a chapter because I was falling asleep.
Oh yeah, you couldn't get through a full chapter tonight?
I could not. No.
Oh.
And I'm in the last two chapters too, so it's like home stretch. Remember old-fashioned trousers says, "Are you drunk? If no, why?" No, because we don't
No
have
booze.
booze in the house.
Yeah.
Is the main reason. Scott Duke sent a super chat, says, "I've watched and enjoyed a bunch of your videos. Thank you, Scott."
Sympathetic after today.
Yeah, Random Evo Times. Yeah, I do remember who you are. I remember you from Twitter. But yeah, everybody should go check out Random Evo Times channel. And I'm sorry, I'm not sure what your pronouns are, Random Evo Times, but I'll just use they. Go give them a watch. They're a very smart kid. Definitely deserve some views. Okay. Does that also mean 3 months sober? No.
No.
Although, to be fair, I'm not really a heavy drinker to begin with. Basically, the only times I get drunk are for the drunken movie nights. Mrs. Rhino, question for you. When is your next regular video and when is it coming out? I think that was for me.
Yeah, I think that was for you. It says, hi, Mrs. Rhino.
Yeah, so my next regular video is on Friday. So my schedule, I actually have a schedule. I know if you guys watch YouTube channels anything like I watch YouTube channels, you have no idea what my schedule is, even though it's been regular for years. But my schedule is that I release videos on Fridays at noon, and then recently I started releasing videos on Monday mornings at 9 a.m. This is all Eastern time. And recently my videos have been getting too long, and everybody's been complaining about a bazillion ads in the middle of the video. So I decided to try and cut back on the ad. Like, YouTube puts extra in no matter how few or how many I say to do. Like I have videos where I've put 3 ad breaks in and people are saying they got 5 ad breaks. And like, okay, that's a bit excessive, YouTube. Come on, get your stuff together. So I thought if I do shorter videos, then maybe YouTube will actually listen to where I want the ad breaks to go. It doesn't seem to be working, really.
Oh, I've seen
But
some of your comments, and some
yeah, but
people say they don't
people
have
seem
it.
to like it.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to continue that. So what I'm doing is Fridays at noon I'm releasing a part 1 of the Friday video, and then Saturday at noon is part 2 of the Friday video, and then Monday at 9 a.m. is part 1 of the Monday video, and Tuesday at 9 a.m. is part 2 of the Tuesday video. So all of my videos are split into 2 now, and so stuff. So I'm getting behind on the
Yeah, you are.
questions. So
I didn't want
let's
to
see.
interrupt you.
James Owen says, do any of your or Mrs. Rhino's family have any issues with their atheism? Have you or her lost any friends over time because of it? No, not really. I don't think I've ever used the word atheist around my mother, but she knows I'm no longer a church-going person.
Yeah, she probably has figured that out a couple of years ago now.
I don't. Well, she might like there might be some shock value if I say I'm an atheist.
Yeah. Oh
Oh,
no.
I don't know if you heard that in the background, but that was my 7-year-old who still has trouble wiping his bum entirely cleanly. So he was just calling down in the sing-song that he does, saying, "Papa, I am all done pooping and wiping my bum." So, Mrs. Rhino, you want to go take care of that?
Sure.
Make sure
I'll
he's
pop
nice and
over.
clean.
Clean. Sure. I'll be
The
right back.
joys of family life. He's supposed to be in bed. Atheist 101 sent a super chat, says, don't have a question, just a thank you. Okay. Heard your Farnsworth quote on Scathing Atheist. I've done 2 that I remember. It was a while ago, though. So, Tea with Sue. Oh, that's Susan Schindler-Laredo. Hi, Susan. Says, love you both. Thank you. Speak up, Mrs. Rhino. Well, I can rank her levels from my end. She's not talking right now. Dun, dun, dun. Will you ever consider debating anyone like Kent Hovind or the like? Yeah, I'm toying with the idea of doing like a live chat show, kind of like I did with Trinity Van Naker back before my copyright strike. Just like not actual structured debates, but more of a like just have a discussion, because I don't really like debates. You don't really get anywhere with debates. It's too easy to gish gallop. So probably no structured debates. Probably not Kent Hovind, because at this point I think he's mostly just trolling for attention. So the best thing to do is to not give it to him. So remember old-fashioned trousers says, is that a Jersey twang Mrs. Rhino has? Mrs. Rhino, you back?
Yes, I'm back.
So is your accent from New Jersey?
No. My accent is actually partially French, but in English while I was living in Central America. So it's a mixture.
Yeah. Born in Canada, grew up in France, learned English in Belize, and then lived in the Cayman Islands.
And back to Canada.
Token Trevor says, do you play games with subs on your game channel? No, I don't. Are we hearing window sounds in the background? I'm sorry if we're hearing window sounds in the background, but the way I've got Mrs. Rhino connected, that will happen.
Yeah, the headphones for some reason got loose in the process of me going upstairs to check.
So yeah, she's actually calling in from the living room. Let's see. I saw someone asked something that I wanted to.
Someone's asking where I'm from, unless that was the one that.
You're from everywhere. Background of comb jelly. I don't know what the background is. It's just some crap that I downloaded. I made sure it's copyright free, and then I downloaded it. And I think this came from a channel called AAVFX.
Yeah, it was Lord Phoenix 140. You asked where I'm from.
DJ Moon asked opinion on Vash. I don't know. I've heard the name before, but I'm not familiar, so I don't really have an opinion. I feel like people generally talk about Vash in a positive light, so I think
I've seen.
I don't know who Vash is really. I've heard the name.
I've seen Twitter. I've heard.
Yeah,
I've
it's
heard
mostly on Twitter.
Twitter. Yeah,
it's mostly on Twitter. You would think Kent learned new tricks in state institution. Yeah, you would think that, but no. Okay.
That's a funny one.
Well, questions are slowing down a little bit, so let's take a look. I've got an Answers in Genesis article on evolution. It says, what is evolution? How does it relate to creation? Discover how evolution supposedly works, its history, myths, and its effect on Christian theology. Realistically, if it affects your theology, then you've got bigger issues, because, like, science first, then the Bible. Who did the strikes? Okay, I did answer that at the beginning, but that was, like, right at the beginning, so we can, I can answer that again. It was the company that owned the rights to Assassin 33 AD. We got drunk and decided to play the thing in full screen in its entirety while we were reviewing it, so we got copyright striked. I did email the director, and he was very not helpful, but at the same time, like, he wasn't specifically targeting me. There were like 8 or 9 channels that got struck the same time as me.
He didn't
But
remember who
he
you
was
were.
he was just kind of like, I don't know who you are. Like, why should I reinstate your thing? And it's like, well, okay. I could do the countersuit thing, but, like, yeah, I do firmly believe that my use does technically count as fair use, but I made enough mistakes that I can see an argument being made either way. So I'm just gonna ride the strike out. So, biological evolution is the supposed process by which the first cell evolved into the diversity of life that we see today. So, that's a little clue. They actually do understand that abiogenesis and evolution are 2 different things. Otherwise, they wouldn't have specified that it's the first cell evolves into the diversity of life. Holy Ravioli, do you have any larger project series responses like the Pseudoscience Uprising and movie Falsely So Called? I know you're doing the What About Bones thing. Do you have anything else planned? I'm not sure if I'm going to continue the What About Bones thing, because I legitimately did not watch that whole thing in advance. So I expected that, like, in the first video, I expected at some point he was going to get to the bones, but he never did. And then in the second video, again, I didn't watch the whole thing because I'm like, surely the first video, he's going to get to the bones in his What About Bones series. Second video, rather. So surely, it's the second video in. Surely he's going to do... And it just, the further in I got, the less it covered. And it just, I don't know, I just kind of petered off with it. And that's another company that's rather finicky with copyright stuff. So I had to, like, every video that I uploaded, I had to either do funny things to avoid getting caught by the copyright bots, or I had to, ask them to release their hold on it. And it was just too much effort for me just sitting there saying, where's the bones? Shay Zoo says, was the copyright strike justified? Debatable. Debatable enough that I didn't fight it.
The What About Bones, is that the one that have the skeleton in the back?
That was with... No. Those are the CMI guys. That was Carl Kirby. Have I seen The Case for Christ? No, I haven't seen it. I am passingly familiar with the book. I know the main points that the book makes. Yeah. What else was I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, James Owens sent a super chat. There we go. Says, are there atheist shows you would guest on? Well, I think I've announced this on Twitter, but I'm not sure if I did it on the YouTube channel yet. But I have been invited onto The Line on Jimmy Snow's channel to do a call-in show. And yeah, I can't do that until I show my face. And so I'm going to do a face reveal when I get to 60,000 subscribers. So if y'all want to see my ugly mug and you're not subscribed, subscribe. Oh, Mrs. Rhino making me do. Dun. Excuse me a moment. I have to reconnect Mrs. Rhino to the thingy. So yeah, where was I? So yeah, I'm going to show my face, go on The Line, and
I'm back.
Hi, back. I'm Vice Rhino. So yeah, there will be a face reveal. I will not be doing my face in my normal videos, I'm still just going to be doing the Rhino because it takes too long to edit face stuff. But for stuff like what I'm doing now, it would be helpful to like it'd be more interesting for you guys if you could actually see the guy talking. Um, but yeah, I actually have the equipment for that. I'm staring into a webcam that one of my patrons bought for me. I've got a gray sheet hanging behind me because I lost the green sheet that I was using before. I've got my cheap little lights that are going to be absolute garbage, but at the same time, it's better than nothing sitting off to the side. So I'm ready for the face reveal. I just need you guys to subscribe if you're not already. So yeah, that's that. Where was I? Natural selection and mutations are considered the driving force. However, evolution has never been observed despite numerous protestations to the contrary. Contrary. I do more than one takes when I record my videos, guys. Is Mrs. Rhino gone again? Mrs. Rhino? Yeah, Mrs. Rhino's gone. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why you keep disconnecting. Oh, you know what? Make sure the laptop is connected to the to the network with just the 5G after it, not the 5G 2, and not the one without the 5G. Because that might be an issue. So I'm going to email you another link. Maybe she's listening, maybe she's not. Who knows? Tech support the live stream. James Owen says Vice Rhino anagram of Ericoven, I believe. Yes, it is. Not Ericoven in particular, just because that was the first apologist name that I thought when I was typing it into an anagram generator, and I saw Rhino Viced and was like, oh, yeah, that's good. And that's what I do. You're back. Did you hear?
Back.
Did you hear me tell you which network to connect to?
No, I couldn't. I had to hard boot the laptop. It froze on me.
Stop breaking the laptop.
Okay. I promise I'm not trying to.
Skywise. Hey, Skywise. How's it going? I'm good. How are you?
Okay, so where's your video now? Oh, there it is. I have to find it. Sorry.
Thesnday? I don't know. It's small text. I can't read your name. I ordered the Laughing Rhinos on Teespring. I love the baby rhinos. Yeah, I like the baby rhinos too.
Yes. We actually have to get some of those for our kids.
And that recording is actually my kids, and I literally just pointed the microphone at them and said laugh, and that's what I got. So if you're familiar with that, well, if you're not familiar with it, here, I have you guys connected to my audio. May as well use it, right?
I'm sorry, I missed which network to connect to.
Yeah, connect to the 5G one, not the 5G 2, and not the one with no 5G.
Okay, I will switch that now. Oh, great. It's telling me I can't connect to this network.
Well, why not?
I don't know, but now it's saying that I'm connected.
Okay, yeah, it does that sometimes.
Oh, I hate technology.
It's fine, you just gotta get used to it. Yeah, if you're not familiar with the kids laughing sound, it is this. That's my kids' laugh track.
I'm back again.
Why do you have 3 Wi-Fi networks? Well, it's because we have something that we have a bunch of Google Homes, and we have a bunch of smart devices that are all on the 2.4 gigahertz network. Then we have the 5G network, which is reserved for the high bandwidth. Okay, sorry, I just got an error in my YouTube thing. I was making sure it wasn't anything that was going to kill anything. So yeah, I have the 5G network is for the high bandwidth applications, so that's where our TVs connect, that's where my PlayStation 4 connects, and that's why I just told you the laptop, usually we're not doing intensive stuff on it, so it defaults to the slower ones, or the more busy channels. So I just had her go to the main 5G channel so that she can get the proper throughput and stuff. Yeah, and we just got an access point that we're still having trouble with, and it's running the 2.4 gigahertz and the 5G2 one. So the 5G one we know is a stable network right now. Okay, someone said something. After
Oh,
the
for
face
Pete's
reveal, you're
sake.
planning on keeping using your avatar, or are you just going to change the channel's face entirely? I am still going to use the avatar because it's too much work to edit actual face stuff, and I'm lazy. So, yeah. Oh, people are laughing at the donation gif.
Oh, I see. We're
How
getting
do I
that.
get the questions to show up so fancily on the screen? Well, right now it's because I'm using Streamlabs OBS, which has a chat box applet thing that connects to the YouTube chat thing, which it's not just your questions, it's all the chat. I'm not doing the, like, I know there's some where you can highlight specific things. I haven't figured that one out yet because I'm bad at this, but yeah.
Uh, Remember old-fashioned trousers asking, "Are you a Buffalo Bill fan type of Canadians?" We're actually not sports fans.
Yeah, if I had to choose between, what did you say, Buffalo Bills or Canadians?
Buffalo Bills fan type of Canadian.
No, I don't like the Buffalo Bills. So, yeah, there's that. James Owen says, "Are you a Rick or a Morty?" I'm probably more of a Morty. I project Rick, but I'm a Morty inside.
I just,
It's been a while since we've watched that.
yeah, I kind of lost interest when they were just doing all the puking all the time.
No, that was Family Guy.
No, but Rick and Morty also started doing it in like the whatever season.
Yeah, a little bit. They weren't as bad.
No, but it was, I don't know.
So Christian Risen says, "Get a Ubiquity access point. They're inexpensive, and once set up, they just work perfectly." Yeah, I'm using a what's it called? There's
Oh,
TP net or whatever. It's like half
TP
the
Link,
price.
I think.
TP Link. Yeah, it's like half the price of the Ubiquity one, and it does work. It's just the issue is I I think I thought that it would like use the router as like a second access point. You know how if you get more than one access point, they all just kind of work together seamlessly. But I don't think my router is really set up to do that. I'm basically I've disabled two of the router's channels and use those on the access point, and then the one that I want to be the fastest goes straight to the thing. But whatever, you guys don't care about my tech setup. Atheist Mommy says, "I wonder, are you a scientist?"
No.
No, I'm not a scientist. I am.
You love science, though, and you've always
I'm.
loved
I'm a
science.
science enthusiast. I'm a science
Yes.
communicator. Um, I know where to find the science stuff. That super chat notification is very delayed.
Yes, with the little rhinos there? Where's the rhino?
Yeah. Why is my stream status so bad?
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, half the price of Ubiquity, three times the hassle. I don't know. It didn't seem that hassling to me. It was just I didn't know how access points in general work. Like, I mean, I kind of know how they work, but I've never actually used them before, so it was just a learning experience for me. So, would have been the same for everything. My favorite anti-science conspiracy that is clearly false on the surface, but dumb people still believe. First, I'd like to preface this by it's not necessarily dumb people that believe. It's a certain mindset and how they look at the world and filter it. Like, you can have very intelligent people believing some very weird things. Um, I don't know. I don't really have a favorite. I just kind of like maybe Gwyneth Paltrow in Goop because she's in movies that I watch with my kids, and every time her face shows up, it takes me right out of the movie, and I want to punch her. Is there anything other than God that I doubt, i.e., spirit, souls, afterlife, especially magic? Is there any room for any such beliefs? I mean, you can believe that stuff if you want. I just haven't seen any evidence for it. I mean, I used to work at a place that people said was haunted, and people would tell me their ghost stories of the time that they saw a ghost. But they were always really weak stories. Like one guy was cleaning a mirror and he saw a face behind him. And it's like, no, you saw the reflection of your own face from the corner of your eye in the mirror. Because like part of the story was when I turned to look at it, it was gone. It's like, yeah, of course it was gone. That's because it was your fucking face. Oh. Okay.
Oh, look, there's a kid. Good night.
Okay. All right. So ESP is extrasensory powers. Or I thought it was perception. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Back to the article. Evolution defined. Macro versus microevolution. Evolution is a word that is used a lot, but is poorly defined. It is not poorly defined. It is so easy to find the definition for that. It is the change in allele frequency in a population over time. Like that's evolution. Where do I get my flashy backgrounds? I get them from a Vimeo channel called Beeple. That he allows them to be used copyright free with any purpose. There's always a link in the description to them, but I don't think he requires that actually. But whatever. Evolutionists themselves frequently equivocate on the term, using it to mean multiple things, sometimes even within the same sentence. Yeah, maybe the lay people that happen to accept evolution do, if you're like watching a Ray Comfort interview video, but no, I've in the science publications are usually quite specific about what they mean when they are talking about evolution. Have you seen R and Ra's recent debate on does the should exist? I don't know what the should is. No, I haven't seen that debate, probably. I don't really watch debates very often. Extrasensory poppycock, I like that. I can beat your gray butt in any cross-plat online multiplayer. Yeah, I have no doubt. I don't really play many video games. I might have a chance in Mario Kart. I'm pretty good at that. But everything else, I'm like moderate at best.
Oh, right. I missed about the video games thing answer, didn't I?
Did you?
Yeah, I think that's when I was having technical issues.
Oh, okay. Okay, macroevolution is used to describe the large-scale changes believed to be able to turn a blob of protoplasm into a person. Why do they always have to, like, this blob of protoplasm? What even is protoplasm? I don't know. I've never actually looked that one up. Protoplasm definition. Protoplasm, the colorless material comprising the living part of a cell, including the cytoplasm, nucleus, and other organelles. Maybe. I guess that makes sense. That does kind of make sense. That makes... But, like, still, they always... Like, it's a blob of protoplasm. Protoplasm is literally most of what you're made out of, if I understood that definition correctly. So, like... I don't know. I don't know if you watched my recent videos, guys, but... you started out as a pile of semen. Have you ever seen semen? Like that was you at one point. It's a gross little puddle of goo and it turned into a person. Happens all the time. Why is it so surprising that it can happen in nature over billions of years, millions of years? That's not evolution. That's a flesh golem spell.
What's a flesh golem spell?
I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, so protoplasm into a person. By contrast, microevolution is intended to describe small-scale changes in populations, such as those exhibited by Darwin's finches. So you mean like speciation events, since Darwin's finches have become different species of finches? Robert Rivers is asking questions about donations, apparently.
Yes, he's a truck driver. He would like to donate, but he doesn't want... Do not have, nor do I want PayPal or Patreon. Do you have Venmo
Venmo
or
or Cash App. I do not
Cash App.
have a Venmo or a Cash App.
Would that even work in Canada, anyways?
I don't know. I've never even looked into it.
Yeah. First I've
Um,
heard of it.
but yeah, somebody else was pointing out you can
Super chat.
if you set up a payment method, you can become a member on Google. Um, Personally, I prefer Patreon or PayPal over Google because the fees are smaller. Because YouTube takes 30%. But that being said, it's an option there. If it's more convenient for you and you really don't like PayPal or Patreon, then that's fine. I mean, 70% of money is better than 0% of money.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to get mad at you for doing it on it. But yeah, so membership is a thing. Super chats are fun as well. But I appreciate that you listen to my crap while you drive.
You crap.
Yeah.
You hold yourself in such high esteem, hon.
It helps to stay humble. However, they remain finches. No new traits or major changes take place. What about the... Okay, so maybe the finches, I don't know, like, new song evolved? I don't know if they would count that. But, what about the lizard that developed a new organ that helped it digest a new food source? What about E. coli that evolved the ability to metabolize citrate? When you define E. coli by the fact that it can't metabolize citrate, why? Like, what about, like, there's so many examples of creatures that have evolved, and we have watched them evolve. The London Underground mosquito, like friggin' dogs. Look what we've done to dogs. They used to be wolves. That's a different kind of animal, but then you look at their definition of kind, and you're like, yeah, everything just changed a little tiny bit. But if you look at the evolutionary tree, it's just a little tiny bit difference between the ancestor and the descendant. And yeah, I know pedants out there, don't jump on me. I know they're probably not actual ancestors once we get to the fossil evidence and stuff. But like, yeah, that's it. It's baffling to me that they don't see how little changes pile up. Like, if they admit that little changes happen, why can't they recognize that big changes can also happen? Like,
Oh,
the little
wow.
changes add up. Robert Rivers sent some beer money over.
Nice. I guess we'll have to go and get some beer then.
Oh, so yeah, just this is supposed to be an AMA, so start asking questions, guys, or I'm gonna have to keep reading AIG at you.
Remember, super chat question: do you take precedence?
Do I take precedence?
No, super chats.
Oh yeah, super chats take precedence.
Precedence. I can't speak. Okay, so.
Okay. Since the term evolution is so strongly associated with... Oh, that was... Oh, I misread that. I only saw 5. Thank you, Robert.
You
That's,
you only saw 5? I saw the 50.
That's like 2 cases.
That is 2 cases.
All right.
Bye, we're going to get beer now. I'm kidding.
No, they're closed. They closed 5 minutes ago. Since the term evolution is so strongly associated with particles to people myth... Particles to people. You are made of particles. Everything is, like, every person started out as particles and nothing more than particles, and they still are nothing more than particles. Of course particles to people happens.
Say particles one more time, hon.
Particles. Shagmeister 319, is that? I don't know. Small. I have a I have a 2K monitor, and the text is all little bitty. Let's make it bigger here. Yeah, Shagmeister 319 says, "Dad, I'm late to the party. What happened?"
Technical issues.
People are asking me questions, and I'm reading an article when there's no questions to answer.
And I'm experiencing technical issues.
Juan Lopez wants to know if there's going to be more call-in videos on my channel. I imagine I will do something like that in the future at some point, but I don't know. It wasn't quite working the way that I wanted it to.
It was tricky? I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's not that it was tricky.
No, a setup? I don't know.
Okay, the Quiet Gorilla asks favorite beer, and notice the U because I'm a fellow Canuck. Yeah,
Nice.
I actually okay. So on one of my gay marriage videos that I recently put up,
That was Mondays.
I spelled Pearl Harbor in the thumbnail with a U, and I did it deliberately because I am Canadian, and I know technically it's a proper noun. So even though the extra U is the proper way to spell it, it should be spelled without it because it's a proper noun. But I decided to go for the cultural appropriation and pop that over. Uh, that ding made me lose my train of thought. No, not
My
blue. Blue
ding?
isn't okay. But back to favorite beer.
That
So
was our
same
mood.
question that was James Owen sent money for same question basically. Favorite beer, craft or big brewer, Labatt Blue. Um, blue's okay. I'm not exactly a connoisseur. I don't like the strong flavored beers like IPAs and crap like that. Some of you might hate on me for this because I like Belgian Moon. Belgian Moon is nice, or Blue Moon. I think it's the same thing as Blue Moon in the States.
Yeah, it's a blue moon.
Like
We have
Belgian wheat beers. I like Belgian wheat beers. Uh, what's that other one called?
whole
Hogarden.
garden. Whole
Hogarden's all
garden.
right.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, it's just easy to drink and gives you a little tiny buzz. That's all I'm looking for in a beer. Um, but yeah, I'm not a snooty beer person who I need my craft beer and Canadians too. Or I'm too good to drink Canadian. It's like no, if you got Canadian or blue or something, I'll drink it. Whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, are you kidding
I
me? We
have had
drink it.
Coors Light, and I do agree that it's basically water. Um,
Coors? Was it Coors Light? I
yeah,
thought it was
we had
Heineken.
no, we had Heineken tastes like piss.
Right.
Coors Light tastes like water. That was the one that we had at the wedding.
Your sister's wedding?
No,
My brother's wedding.
no. My
Which one?
father's wife's son's wedding.
Oh, we had Coors Light?
Yeah, it was an open bar, so we were like, they have Coors Light at the open bar. Why don't we try one? I'm not paying for this garbage.
I really don't remember that us having
Um,
Coors Light.
since X-Men obviously proves evolution, who is your favorite X-Man? Charles Xavier because I like Patrick Stewart.
That one stuff. Some is asking, do you like the marijuana? Marijuana.
I've never actually tried marijuana.
Yeah, neither have I.
No. And I saw someone earlier comment that I kept missing their questions. Um, but that's like lost in the backlog of the chat now. So I don't know what your question was, and I don't remember your username. Send it again. I missed it. Yeah, finally someone with a good opinion on Heineken. Yeah, I know. I work in restaurants. It astounds me how popular Heineken is because it literally tastes like piss. And people would ask me when I'd say that, I'd be like, well, how do you know it tastes like piss? Do you drink piss? And like, not intentionally, but I do have 3 kids, so I have tasted it. Like, it tastes like Heineken. But if you like Belgian beer, you should try Brugzizot. I don't
I
like
don't
Belgian
forget that.
pronunciations, though, so Blue Moon it is. Do you eat fruit? I do eat fruit sometimes. I
Well,
ate I ate a peach yesterday.
well, theoretically, you eat fruit. Well, liquid
No,
form
wait.
every
No,
morning.
I mentioned peach, so now I have to do a
Peach.
Nicolas Cage impression.
Okay.
Peach. I could eat a peach for hours. That's from Face Off.
I was gonna say, is that from Face Off?
That is from Face Off. Am I doing more AMA streams like this in the future? I don't know, maybe. Or just read an article, answer questions if people have them. Why not? I'm sure I could do it.
No, Nicholas Vivier
Are
is
you?
asking if we're ready for the winter in 2 months. No. Make that 3. 4. It doesn't start cooling off until at least November.
Yeah, no, it used to snow by Halloween, but now it doesn't snow until after Christmas usually.
This
If
past
they made a
November.
Fallout Kando, would you be interested in playing it? I don't know. I've never played any of the Fallout games, so I'm going to say no. STWD asks if I have advice on researching stuff. Google Scholar is your friend. and there are ways of accessing articles without like scientific journals that are behind a paywall without paying for every single individual article. Libraries help with that. Um, and there's also less legal options that I'm not going to tell you what they are because, that's like I'm not giving out advice on how to break the law on live on air on YouTube. I just got my streaming abilities back. I don't want to break the community guidelines now.
Again?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like the copyright strike, I only really couldn't stream. That was it. That was the only punishment. But if a
I
community
know.
guidelines strike, that's when you can't upload a video over 15 minutes and you can't stream and you can't do this and you can't that would kill my channel. So no.
Not like we stream a lot to begin with, but
Would you ever be willing to do a response video to Greg Locke or Benny Hinn? Probably not. They're not generally. They don't generally put out the kind of content that I would respond to. I don't know about Benny Hinn. I haven't watched much of his stuff.
Bruce
But
Cook is asking if you've ever tried eating a hot pepper.
I mean, we have grown jalapeno peppers, and we've got pickled peppers from our own garden in the basement. So yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like they mean like ghost
Hot.
peppers
Yeah.
or something like
or
that.
like without pickling them first. I mean, our kids
Yeah, I
do
don't know.
wonder. At least our daughter wonders why. How can we put so many
Our
jalapeno peppers on our burgers or something like that?
our youngest son absolutely loves radishes. Like to the point where I actually had to it was an effective threat to say if you don't do X, I'm going to ground you from the radishes in the fridge, because he'll just grab a radish and chow down raw.
Yeah.
So Benny Hinn sounds like Benny Hill.
Is he a musician, Benny Hill?
Benny Hill does that saxophone
okay.
thing. I think that's Benny Hill.
There's beer chocolate?
Benny Hill saxophone. Yakety sax, that's the one. Let's get the copyright going again. Where
No,
are we?
no, no.
This one. Where are we? Okay, that's enough of that before copyright.
It didn't play.
It didn't play? You didn't hear it?
I didn't hear it.
Oh, did people in the chat should have heard it. So, radishes are delicious. Yeah, he was a comedian. Benny Hill did the yakety sax while running really, really fast around in circles. I think it was part of his show.
Oh, you can show me to me later.
Yeah. Okay, somebody sent a super chat. Let's see what that is. NY Northman says, "What barriers do you have to holding the hard atheist position?" Insert dick joke here that I'm too tired to think of. I mean, I thought of one, but it was like bad enough that I might have been that could have counted as a community guideline strike.
Oh
But
my goodness.
oh yeah, everybody heard it. So yeah, what barriers do you have to holding the hard atheist position? It's just it's a matter of like evidence. It's the God proposition is an unfalsifiable proposition. Like if you define a God, then I can tell you why I don't believe in that specific God. So like the Christian God, I can bring out the Bible and say, well, he can't exist because the Bible says this, but it also says that. So with regards to specifically the Christian God, yes, I'm a positive atheist. I would assert that that God does not exist. With regards to the Islamic God, same thing. It's the same God with more stuff tacked onto it, so he doesn't exist either. Throw Vishnu and Krishna and all them into that. I haven't really researched them, so I can't tell you why I don't believe in them. So for them, I would still say I'm more of a soft atheist, but I guarantee you as soon as I look into it, I can then tell you why I don't accept those gods either. And so if you give me a specific God claim, I will give you a positive, this is why I do not believe in that God response. But the less specific the claim gets, the harder it is to like to say, oh, there is a God and God is the universe and he's part of all of us, and of course you can't do like some nebulous deistic concept like that. No, I can't prove that that doesn't exist. I don't think it exists. I have no reason to believe it exists, but I'm not going to come out and say I have positive evidence that that kind of a God doesn't exist. Play yakety sax over the video for WAP, and then you have a modern Benny Hill sketch. That could be fun. Yeah, I could. I haven't seen. The only part of the WAP video that I've seen is the part that Ben Shapiro plays. I've actually looked for it. I can't find it. How hard? Like, how bad was this music video that you can't find it anywhere? If anybody has a link, just go to my website and send that to me on the message thing. I'm not sure if links will get banned from the chat. Yes, Sullivan Wegner, I was thinking that while I said that. The force, it surrounds us, penetrates us, and binds the galaxy together. Big hi from Oz? Like Australia? Or like the land of Oz?
Like Wizard of Oz? Then?
I don't know, maybe. Media Scene says, do you watch any anime? Not really. I mean, like... We've watched My Neighbor Totoro with the kids. I know we have
Castle.
Howl's Moving Castle. They haven't seen that one in a while. They probably like that again.
Yeah, we watched one really depressing that is not for the kids.
That was The Grave of the Fireflies. It was a good movie though, but yeah,
yes,
I don't think the kids would like that one now.
Oh no, not like they've seen it before anyway. But
yeah, so I've seen a fair share of it, but I'm not like a specific anime fan who I'm going to go for the latest anime sort of thing. Like, whatever. What is my favorite fish? To eat or to keep? Because to keep, right now my favorite fish is the monster dinosaur puppy fish, which is the Bashir. It is a fish that you can keep in your aquariums if you're willing to do some work for it. That they have lungs. They can live outside of water. They can walk outside of water. But they swim. They have gills as well. They basically are a proto-tetrapod, and you can go down to the pet store and buy one. I mean, you probably not just any pet store. You need to actually look for them. But yeah, it's a fish that you can buy and keep in your tanks right now. So that would be my favorite fish right now. My favorite fish to eat. I don't know. It all kind of tastes the same to me. I like tuna.
We don't have tuna. We have. Well, if we're talking, it depends on what. Like for sushi, you really like the eel one.
Yeah, the avocado and eel sushi is really good.
Yeah.
Okay, if eel counts as fish, I like eel. Robert Rivers says, have you considered playing Fight of Gods on stream next time you stream a game? I don't have that game. I don't know what that game is. So no, I haven't considered it. I mean, I could look into it, I guess, but... yeah, I do have a gaming channel. It's called Vice Rhino Gaming. It's kind of boring. I just play video games on it. We just hang out. I'm not going to be a gaming channel that has millions of subscribers anytime soon.
Oh no. Especially with me gaming with you.
Yeah.
I suck.
Yeah, you do. Back to the article. Evolutionists tend to use these ideas interchangeably between micro and macro evolution. Yeah, they are kind of there are a few specific things as like, okay, maybe this is a mechanism that acts more on the macro scale than the micro scale. One of those mechanisms is phenotypic plasticity, which, bringing it back around to the monster dinosaur puppy fish. Phenotypic plasticity is that's like that concept where something bred in captivity will have different features than the same species in the wild, like how orca whales have their dorsal fin curves over.
In the wild or the outside?
And Bashirs, no, in captivity they have their dorsal fin cave over. So it's like environmental factors that change how the genetics are expressed in a way that helps them adapt to their environment. So the Bashir had several demonstrations of phenotypic plasticity when they were raised on land, that there were large-scale evolutionary changes in one generation. So that's something that could be considered a mechanism that only works on the macro scale. There's also endosymbiosis. I think that I might be getting my terms confused. I usually Google this stuff first, but yeah, it's basically when an organism absorbs another organism and its entire genome into its own genome. It's like, where does genetic information come from? Well, it just absorbed an entire genome into its own genome. So that's a pretty big leap right there. So that like big things can happen in one generation with that as well. But let's see. I've been talking about the Bashir. Haven't shown it. I got to show a picture of the Bashir because they're cute.
You and your Bashir.
I like the Bashirs.
I know, but they need a frickin' big tank.
Yeah, I know they need a friggin' big tank, but look at him. He's so cute. Look at these guys. Where's this? Yeah, we've called that one Falcor.
The white one, right?
Yeah, because it looks like Falcor from the
I
Neverending
can't
Story.
see any pictures, so.
Are you not on the stream?
I am on the stream, but I can
Oh,
see
it
the
hasn't
article.
caught up yet. Where are we? There's
Oh, there
one,
it is.
There's one particular picture that I like. Where are we? Well, these guys are. I think these are ornate Bashirs. They're pretty. I like them.
There's the Falco one. Yes, I'm behind.
Where's the one that I've been showing to everybody?
The gold and black one?
I think it was this one. This one. That's the picture I've been showing everybody.
The one that made it into the thumbnail?
Yeah, no, that was a different one.
No? Oh, okay.
Where are you on the political spectrum? Right, left, conservative, liberal, libertarian, etc.? Someone hasn't been watching my recent videos. Yes, I am hardcore alt-right white nationalist. No, I'm not. I am left-leaning. I'm probably further left than most Americans. Like, I don't know if I go as far left as Bernie was, but I am further left than Joe Biden, for sure. Like, I mean, just being in Canada, our baseline is further to the left than Americans. So what we would call a centrist, you would call left. So, like, I enjoy my free healthcare.
Oh, yes.
And I think that everyone should have. I think healthcare is one of those, like, you look at prisoners. It's in the American Constitution. If you read the 13th Amendment, it actually specifically says that, like, slavery is now illegal, except for prisoners. We'll still use them as slave labor. Like, it legitimately has an exception of, we are going to suspend these people's human rights to use them as slaves. But then you look at the things that Americans in particular give to prisoners because they are recognized as human rights that you cannot take away from anyone. And it's things like food, housing, medical care. So if you break the law and go to prison, you get free medical care paid for by the government. And you get free food and you get free shelter. But if you're out on the street, tough cookies. You're on your own. So, like, medical care, there should be access to food. So, like, programs like food stamps should be available if they're needed. Low-income housing should absolutely be needed.
Wait, are you telling me that the states don't have food stamps?
No,
or
they do. They
low-income
do. It's
housing?
they do. It's just not quite as easy to access as in Canada.
Oh, okay. Because I know about the healthcare thing. That's absolutely.
But yeah, like these are basic rights that a country that recognizes that they are suspending certain people's rights to use them as a slave labor force still says, no, that's too much to take these rights away. But they don't give those rights to their free citizens that haven't broken the law. It's mind-boggling to me. And yeah, sure, Canada's not perfect either. Not everybody who needs a house can have a house. But like at least we're trying. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know. Like it's like when we have to take our kids, or even us personally have to go to urgent care for to be looked at, and
Yeah. So
we start complaining about the wait time, but then
anytime we want to complain about anything in the Canadian medical system, we just start messaging back and forth with our American friends, and then hear about all the nightmares that they have, and it's like, oh, and people say that American medical care is better. But yeah, but like my kid, our youngest, decided he was going to try and do
oh
a
my
backflip into
gosh,
the pool. He landed smack in the middle of his back on the side of the pool, and like
ouch.
he seemed okay, but it was like we were able to take him to the doctor and have him checked out just to make sure he's okay without having to worry about money. That didn't cost us a penny.
Well,
And
when
yeah, I know a lot of Americans, when I start talking about free healthcare, will be like, oh, it's not free. It actually costs you in taxes. It costs so much in taxes. You're like, no, it doesn't cost so much in taxes. I can see on my tax return how much I pay for healthcare. This past year, it was $600 for the entire year for my whole family. Like, yeah, it costs you, but it doesn't cost. I looked. I don't know if the numbers have changed since then. It was a few years ago, but last time I looked it up, the average family plan that would cover our family was like $900 a month in the States. It's like,
well
no, I
even
will
in
pay. I
Canada,
will pay my 600 for a year.
yeah, well even when our middle one got sick a couple of years ago, just before Christmas in November, we didn't have to worry about staying in the hospital, and we didn't. All we had to worry about is paying for parking and our food and the gas to go up and
Yeah,
down.
that's
Really.
that's right. So of our three kids, to this day, all of their healthcare costs in total, the most expensive healthcare expense we've had for any of our kids, this includes the C-section surgery, major surgery to get them out. This includes a week stay in the neonatal intensive care unit
Two
when one of
weeks
them was born
actually, hon.
after he had to be resuscitated. This is all kinds of medication that, like, everything from normal medications and vaccines and crap to like the stuff that he needed while he was in the ICU, and like him an overnight hospital stay and an ambulance ride for bronchitis and like all this sort of stuff. The most expensive healthcare cost we've had was like $150 of parking at one of the
If
hospitals.
that, if that, I
Yeah,
don't
it was
think
it
it
was
was
less
even
than
that
that. It
much.
was like
Yeah,
$50 a day, and I think we were there for just under 3 days.
or something like that. I don't know. But I mean, like, yeah, anytime that they've had to go to the hospital, if overnight or anything like that, all we've had to worry is about
Yeah. Okay. So John
gas.
Doe asked if we're talking to chat related stuff, or yeah, no, we kind of lost track of the chat in my little
Yeah,
rant
yeah.
there. Someone asked me about politics, so I started ranting. I was like, I'll be the first to admit, Canada does not have a perfect healthcare system. We don't have the
Oh no.
best healthcare in the world, but neither does the States.
I think you know what Canada could improve is the
And
mental health care.
yeah, mental health care is difficult.
Ridiculous, yes, and
In
it's long.
I think there's some places in Europe where it's all right, but there are a lot of places where mental health care is,
Not as it should be.
yeah. Okay. Is the chat even talking about what we're talking about?
I don't know. Shade Jesus asked $600 for the full whole family. Here in Germany, it would be £200 to 900, not pound, euros to €900 per month.
Yeah, that's basically in line with the numbers that I saw in the States. And I'm not familiar with the Germany healthcare system.
I don't know.
Okay. Are we?
Some people were saying that you should go for president, but that doesn't work here.
I'm not even old enough yet.
Well, I'm sorry, we're not moving in the States.
AOC for Prez. Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty, I'm going to. Hi, Robert Clary. You missed my rant. I'm going to go back to the article. Evolutionists tend to use these ideas interchangeably for speaking of speciation within created. Preferring to speak of speciation within created kinds, which we can observe and verify. Whoever wrote this needs to take some time on the Phylogeny Explorer project, because I've been using that a lot recently. It's public now, It's still kind of in beta phase where it's not entirely done, but like you can go and you can like look at cats and you can see all the things that this looks like a cat, but it's not in the feline category. Um,
Okay.
Aurora Bosiak says,
Yeah, I
"Dear
was gonna
Rhinos,
say.
do you have any advice for raising a critically thinking child?
Oh
Um,
boy,
always encourage questions.
we
Um,
have one, don't we? A daughter.
if you if yeah if they ask you something that you don't know the answer to, don't be afraid to admit that you don't know the answer, and make it a quest to find out together. So why is the sky blue? I don't know why the sky is blue. Let's Google that and find out. But
Did
you can't,
didn't
but then yeah, we did that. Um,
didn't we
like I
do that
wanted
with
to.
the civic holiday in August? The kid, our oldest and youngest were interested why it is the civic holiday and why it's called.
Did we ever find that out?
They started. They made a book, but they never actually kind of carried on with their search.
Uh,
No, we didn't.
no. Yeah, there's a holiday in August that's not it's not a national holiday.
Statutory.
It's not a
Statu-
statutory holiday. Um, it's called Civic Holiday, and I like it's literally it. Nobody gets extra pay for it. It's just bankers and government workers get the day off. Um,
Robert Clary is asking you, can you re-rant?
can I re-rant? Just hit rewind. You can rewind. I don't know how long I was ranting for. Probably about 15 minutes.
I don't know. We started ranting about healthcare, so
What's the topic? I don't know. The topic is I just found an article on AIG. It's like one of their front page articles, and I'm just waiting for people to ask me questions. And when they're not asking questions, I read this stupid article. And I'm not reading it in its entirety. Blues, Dems, what's the best way to get a flat earther you're trying to convince that they are wrong? I don't know. I don't really deal with flat earth. It's not something that really interests me.
the Quiet Gorilla says books, lots of books by a house across the street from the public library.
Yeah, that'd do. Our kids love the library. Um, yeah. Okay, so history of evolution, Charles Darwin and others. Many people believe that evolution began with Charles Darwin in 1859. This belief, however, is inaccurate. But he's the god of evolution. Evolution as an idea has existed since the last Greek philosophers. A Frenchman named Jean-Baptiste Lamarck. Lamarck is dead. Not that Lamarck. Okay. Ian McKennas. Showing some love. Glad you're back at it. Well, thank you. Yeah. We all know Darwin didn't even invent the idea of evolution. He just kind of figured out the first workable mechanism for evolution that actually stuck around. But yeah, it's been a form of evolution has been around since ancient Greece, much like atomic theory was in. So it's like they did a lot of stuff. So the fact that evolution is one of those things that they also did doesn't matter. Remember, Trump doctorate degree is from DKU, Dunning-Kruger University.
That doesn't sound legit.
It is not. Dunning-Kruger is the name of the effect where dumb people think they're smart, and smart people are smart enough to know that they're not as smart as they should be.
Vargio, whatever the name is, says that me and it's just I can't say the name related. No, we're not.
Are you and who related?
His his it says original.
Oh,
I
Eseth.
He says
No.
no.
No. I believe Logic is Canadian, and she. I want to say she's Eastern European, but I also want to say that I've heard her make fun of people for saying that she's Eastern European. So
I thought she was Italian or something like that.
maybe I don't know. I don't know. What
I don't
she is.
know.
I haven't watched Logic for years. The most Logic I've watched was it just popped up in my feed with the John Morris Pendleton, who's like, oh yeah, that guy. He hasn't been covered in a while. I think I'll do that. Which it's been done before, but I'm doing my take on it.
No, we're not related for sure.
Yeah, no, I can't even tell you where she's from.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm skipping the history because who gives a fuck? What are the Buffalo Bills for the strange foreign guy who doesn't know what the fuck you're talking about? Buffalo Bills are I believe they are the football team. Buffalo
Uh,
Sabres. Sabres is the hockey team.
the Bills
What's
or
the
the
baseball
football?
team? Bills are the
Uh,
football.
Bison.
Bisons. The Buffalo Bisons are really?
I
Okay.
think so. Yeah, because we have
And when I
we
say
go by the
football,
Bison.
I mean American football, like rugby for wimps, basically. Um, but yeah, I think that I'm the wrong person to ask about sports.
Yeah,
I just know that the teams exist.
same here. We're the wrong people to ask for about sports.
Yes, we do have significant contemporary evidence that Darwin did in fact exist. Okay, so evolutionary thought since Darwin. Since Darwin's time, evolution has become the dominant dogma in the sciences, even in seemingly unrelated areas. It's impossible to go to a secular school and not get overdosed with evolutionary teaching. The base model of the dogma has changed very little since Darwin. Yeah, it's all dogma. There's no evidence for it. Never mind. Like,
Wait, was that article saying that Darwin was not? We never had evidence that he was alive.
no, that was a comment. Somebody was saying that they did. Oh, I see someone talking about the puppy fish. Hey, Rhino, would you do a video just on the phylogeny of those dinosaur monster puppy fish R and Raw style? Probably not. When I was looking into them, there wasn't much about phylogeny. It's just that they're kind of like a cousin species. They're like the ray-finned version of the lobe-finned fish that eventually led to land animals. Um, so that's why they're kind of they are of interest to scientists because they are basically an exact analog of what the first transitional species onto land would have looked like. Mine's eye visual guitar method says you near Niagara Falls, right? Yes, we are near Niagara Falls.
Yes.
I can see Buffalo, New York from my front yard. And not in the same way that Sarah Palin could see Russia, although I did once have an American laugh at me when I said I could see Buffalo from my front yard, as if he thought I was just making shit up. And he's like, yeah, like Sarah Palin can see Russia. Okay, I get it. It was like, no,
Was that at the
I can.
restaurant?
Yeah, that was at the restaurant. It was like,
Yeah.
no. It was like we can see, like, we're in Niagara Falls, 20, 30 kilometers away. We can see Buffalo from here. What makes you think I couldn't see Buffalo from my front yard, which is right across the river, maybe 2 kilometers away? But yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Evolutionists still teach that man evolved from ape-like creatures over millions of years. Men still are apes. People still are apes. So yeah, we did evolve from ape-like creatures. Other
So what are
aspects
you?
of the
Sorry, I was gonna say about apes. Want to hear something interesting?
no,
So, no. Okay,
no,
fine.
I don't like interesting.
Okay, fine. The Buffalo Zoo posted on their Facebook page that the gorilla actually suffer from heart disease, or so they have
Like
to check their heart.
specifically their gorillas or gorillas in general?
Gorillas in general suffer from heart disease, so they have to do the check. They do the they do their checkup on them, but one of the things is to do an ultrasound of their heart to make sure that everything is working well and everything like that. So one of their female is a 9-year-old female and had her checkup like in the last couple of days.
Ah,
Is it like
Billy Hoyle asks, "What's a kilometer?" It's 1.6 miles. And yes, I know that off the top of my head because I'm an idiot who has to convert things like that. Yeah, no, well, yeah, we live in Canada where we kind of use this weird amalgamation of the metric and imperial system.
oh, you mean like when we go to the butcher shop or anything like that, put it in this many pounds
Yeah,
or
so like we
ounces?
know how many pounds of meat we're buying, but we drive kilometers per hour and measure in meters. And it actually drives me nuts because all the hardware places in Canada are still used to the imperial system, but I can't, for the life of me, figure out how many 30 seconds of or 64ths of an inch like the little ticks on the measuring tape. So I just go on the other side and be like, okay, that's 13 millimeters. Like, I don't need to know how many 56ths of an inch that is. It's just
Oh, I
13 millimeters.
remember.
But then you go to the store, they don't know what 13 millimeters is. So I'm like on my phone, be like, okay, 13 millimeters, 2 inches. Okay, it's this many some fractions of an inch.
Oh, I remember when you sent me to go and buy plywood and cut it to like the exact thing, and they couldn't. I told them that I needed this much, and they're like, "Well, I don't know what that is." That was horrible.
Oh yeah, somebody pointed out 1 kilometer is not 1.6 miles. No, it's 0.6 miles. I might have had that backwards. 1 mile in kilometers is 1.6. Yeah, 1 mile in kilometers is 1.6.
Trickster said recently kind of thought myself the difference between Celsius and Fahrenheit.
What is fun fact? Celsius is not inherently metric. Like it is more metric if we're talking about the freezing and boiling point of water. But why is the freezing and boiling point of water relevant to like what is inherently metric about that? And Fahrenheit is actually more precise. So that's why when I'm doing stuff with my fish tanks, I use Fahrenheit to measure it because it's more precise.
Okay.
Um,
Well, here's the thing. Why do we cook and fish tank and stuff like that in Fahrenheit, but then when we refer to weather, we're always in Celsius?
that one, it's just because that's how I grew up, so I'm used to the Celsius weather, and it doesn't need to be as precise for that.
No.
Godless Blessing says, love your new fire end with low music. That was done for me by, let me just look up I want to say it was The Storm Cometh.
Yes.
Viced Rhino, that's my channel name. Okay, just click on the latest video, pause so you guys don't hear it. It is linked in his channel is linked in my, what's it called? In my description, it's down at the bottom. Intro, outro by The Storm Cometh. He's got a YouTube channel where he does weird, like skit type things with visual
hey everybody,
effects. Oh, yeah, that was his channel. Yeah, so yeah, go check him out if you're interested and stuff like that. Okay, now what I miss? I wish I was raised with metric because I think in imperial. I have to convert from metric to imperial in my head. Yeah, I get that because like I said, I'm doing the other way around whenever I have to go to the what's it called? Store.
Hardware store.
The store. That's what it's called.
The lumber store. Hardware store.
Yeah. So yeah, that's fun. But yeah, as far as distance and speed and everything goes, metric makes perfect sense. And I actually just ran across an idea on Twitter today about someone saying that we should decouple the idea of time from the day. So like just have one universal time. We all would switch to probably what is it? GMT, Greenwich Mean Time? Is that the one that everybody kind of goes in reference to?
I don't know.
Yeah, so yeah, they were suggesting that like everybody just goes by the same time zone, but like let's say what are we? We're GMT +4 or -4?
That's a -4.
Or -4. So if the sun rises here at 6 a.m., then it would be 9 a.m. GMT. So just instead of saying sunrise is 6 a.m., so that's when our day starts, you can just say,
oh, God,
it's light at 9 a.m. or whatever. I don't know. I kind of like that idea. It would take some getting used to, but but it would make collaborating with people in like Australia so much easier. So much easier. Just like, this is what time. And scrap daylight savings time while we're at it, because that shit is just disgusting. Like I've just gone to calling whenever I give a time zone, I just call it Eastern time because I can't remember whether we're in Eastern Daylight Time or Eastern Standard Time. I don't remember which one's the summer one and which one's the winter one. Like, whatever. So I'm just going to, yeah, life would be so much easier without that.
I agree with the daylight saving time. Go bye bye. Visa Death has a is asking where's Mama Rhino from. I'm from Canada, but learned English in Central America.
And you grew up in
Grew up in
France.
France. Yes, I grew up in France. I forgot about that.
You've got a mixed accent.
Yes, my first language is French. I do have a mixed accent. Apparently, I'm forgetting to say that I grew up in France tonight.
Yeah, you got to get all the stuff in there.
There's too many stuff. That's why. Okay. And the cats decided to join me.
I can hear the purring. Vargi says, yeah, the problem with that is that you'd have to retrain your brain to think of 4 a.m. as afternoon somewhere else. Not impossible, but a tough sell. At least now you have 9 to 5 anywhere as working hours. Yeah, but that's becoming less of a thing, too. Is like, I mean, like, when I'm in the restaurant, I'm working like 4:30 is a start time. So like 9 to 5 doesn't mean anything to me already. But yeah, it definitely would take an adjustment. I'm not saying it would, like, they're not going to change to Eastern time, that's for sure. They would probably go with Universal time because we already have it. It's already kind of set up that way for people that have to use time zone stuff all the time. They just go by Universal time. It would just make so much more sense if everybody would just do it and skip the daylight savings time thing. We should actually, if we're doing daylight savings time, you should stay on whichever one is summertime, I think it is.
Hellbound Hillbilly saying if we could skip the spring forward, I wouldn't mind daylight saving time. That's the summer one.
I don't know which one's which. Whatever. Back to the article.
Okay.
Okay, where was I? I don't care where I was. I'm just jumping in the middle. I'm here now. Evolution became permanently immortalized in American culture in 1925 in what was termed the Scopes Monkey Trial, which Evolution lost that one, by the way, so I don't know why they're propping that up as something that helped us. Attempting to challenge Tennessee state law that forbade the teaching of human evolution, the ACLU prompted a substitute teacher named John Scopes to admit to breaking the law, even though he later acknowledged that he had never done so. The trial took on monumental proportions when the two of the most famous lawyers in America, Clarence Darrow and William Jennings Bryan, took opposite positions. The trial ended with Scopes being convicted, but not before Darrow tricked Bryan into testifying and used him as a pincushion to mock the Bible. What? What are they even trying to say happened here?
That makes no sense.
Am I just too tired to comprehend that?
Well, then maybe I am as well.
I don't know. The trial was later immortalized in the Hollywood movie entitled Inherit the Wind, which got almost every basic fact about the case wrong. You know what? If they're saying every basic fact about that case was wrong in that movie, I'm going to say we should watch that movie. It's probably pretty accurate.
Which movie?
Inherit the Wind.
Oh. Is that our next drunken movie night?
No, that's supposed to be a good movie.
Oh, is it?
So let's see. imdb.com. You get to listen to me browse the internet. Inherit the Wind. 1960 or 1999 TV movie remake. Or, no. Yeah, it might be 1988 TV movie. Or 1965 TV movie. Apparently it's a common name for a movie. But yeah, the 1961 is the 1961 is the real one. And being from the 1960s, it's probably like, oh no, it's only 2 hours and 8 minutes long. I was expecting
like 3 hours.
Yeah, I was expecting like Bridge on the River Kwai type length, where everything's 3 hours long. Yeah, actually, we need to watch Jurassic Park to make sure that it's not gonna. Make sure there's not anything that I'm forgetting that the kids will
not sleep that night?
Either be terrified by or will be inappropriate for them. I think it's okay. It is rated PG-13, and our kids are all under 13. But I mean, it's dinosaurs.
No, no. Netflix has it PG-13.
Yeah, Netflix says it's
I
PG-13. IMDb says it's PG. So what
PG.
I'm thinking is that in the States it was rated PG, and in Canada it was rated PG-13 because Netflix gives us the thing. But then those ratings aren't quite universal all over the place anyway. Well, I don't know. I'm getting a little tired. We've been going for what, hour and a half now? Yeah, hour and a
I
half
think
now.
so. An hour and a half.
About an hour and a half. Little under an hour and a half. I actually started on time, so it's been an hour and 22 minutes.
Yeah, so a little under an hour and a half.
Okay, I'll answer one more. Viced, do you mainly try and cover science-based apologists, or do you cover other people like Jeff Durbin sometimes? I'm probably okay for not knowing this, but I don't know who Jeff Durbin is. But I would assume you mean like evangelists or faith healers or something along those lines. And yeah, I do occasionally move away from strict creationist stuff. Like I know I'm doing the series on I don't even know his name, but the World Video Bible School guy, which is the home of the bouncy apologists with Texas accents, because they all bounce and they all speak with the exact same Texas accent. But yeah, he's talking about gay marriage, and that's not typical for my channel, but I don't avoid it, so I am covering that. I'm doing upcoming starting on Friday. I'm in the middle of 3 series right now.
Oh
So
gosh.
on Friday I'm covering a sermon by Greg Kokel where he talks about the 4 atheist horsemen and new atheism. So yeah. Oh god damn it, Nervardia. She's asking me about fish.
Oh, no, Claudia, don't get him
What's my
started.
dream fish? I don't know. It changes depending on what the last fish I looked at is. Right now it's seahorses because I looked at seahorses and they're fucking cool. They are fucking cool.
Achoo.
Yeah, I showed the kids the video of the seahorses giving birth, and it looks like he's sneezing, but instead of snot, it's babies coming out. So it's like, imagine that you imagine just sneezing, but every time you sneeze, 2,000 babies pop out of your penis. That's how a seahorse does it. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Nervardi got me talking about fish again, so I'm gonna say bye now. Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Oh, fuck. Okay, I'm so slow, guy. Says the 4 the 4 horsemen, 4 atheist horsemen, Dawkins, Dennett, Harris, and Hitchens. They're guys. I don't know much about Dennett. Hitchens is okay. Hitchens is very charismatic, but Dawkins and Harris, I don't really have very much